Hi there. I haven't talked to you for a while because I was exhibiting last week up in London at the Mall Galleries in the Body Casting Olympians show, and it was a really great week and I met loads of interesting people. I had visits from athletes including Jeff Thompson, who was 5 times world champion, karate champion. He was great and he's now talking to me about doing something with him and Youth Charter, which is a fantastic charity, so that's good. And it was just a really interesting week. Usually when you show in a gallery, you have people who are art enthusiasts coming in. The Mall Galleries, being on the Mall, had lots of people sort of walking up and down to Buckingham Palace and just popping in because I had sort of a big poster outside saying Body Casting Olympians with a picture of me casting somebody on it. And so it was interesting that there were people who weren't ordinarily interested in art popping in, but there were lots of athletes, lots of sports people. There were cycle teams from different places, and the whole exhibition sold pretty well. I mean, mainly thanks to the good offices of Liz down at Saffron Gallery, who sell my work through Saffron. I mean, they weren't supposedly selling my work through the Mall, but they sold a lot of work for me, which was fantastic. And yeah, it's a really good week. Now I'm focusing on the next thing. I'm doing this piece. This is, I can't remember if I videoed this or not on YouTube. This is Drink+Me, and I entered it for the Threadneedle Prize. The Threadneedle Prize is fairly prestigious. It's an annual event in Britain, and the pieces that are thousands of people submit works by digital images first off, and then they have a small amount of those are pre-selected and they go up to the exhibition space and they're looked at very closely by the judges, and then they will select out from those the pieces that will be shown. And to a certain extent they're looking to try and produce sort of like a coherent exhibition, so they need works that sort of like fit in somehow, and it's sort of always a bit touch and go whether you get in. I've been pre-selected before, but I've never got through to the final show. No idea if this will. I hope so. It's lying on its back because I'm just about to reinforce the base. So this is called Drink+Me, and it's fairly obvious what it is. It's the body cast of a young woman. It was of one of Lorraine's cousins called Lindsay, and she was 8.5 months pregnant when I cast her, and I've then stuck all over the surface. I stuck loads of teats. Silicone teats are very expensive. I had to import these from China. I think this is about sort of £150 worth of silicone teats. Stuck them over the surface, and then I've plastered very carefully around the edges. It took weeks to do, and today I'm just sort of just checking it's really tidy, clean, and also it's really well reinforced so that it can stand well and is stable. But it's an interesting piece to work on. It's more like the work that I used to produce when I was younger, and is sort of slight, a step away from what I normally do, although it still encompasses the whole sort of body cast thing. And to reinforce it, something that you need to know if you do body casting off people, once again, must reiterate, some people are allergic to plaster. I've never met anyone who is. I've been casting for over 20 years. I've never met anyone who is. But I do know that some people get quite severe plaster burns through allergies. So it's always a good idea to spot test. Usually the inside of a wrist is good, and you can, if anybody's not sure whether they'll be allergic or not, put a little bit of Vaseline or something on first as a barrier, and then do a little bit of plaster strip on it and see. If somebody doesn't react there, then it's very unlikely they'll react anywhere else. I mean, the way that I work with the gaps down the sides mean that if anybody's ever uncomfortable, you can take the stuff off very, very quickly. You don't want to be involved with cutting people out if you can avoid it. I think that's it really. If you are going to reinforce plaster at all, plaster bandage doesn't like to stick to plaster bandage when it's dry. So you spray, this is just a garden spray full of water, and I spray the areas that I'm going to reinforce first. so that they are sort of like nice and wet. And then it will stick better. Okay then, hope you're well. Bye.